Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, and today we are playing a red, white and blue, or Jeskai, Abhorrent Oculus graveyard based deck, or as I'm calling it, Jeskai, dish. And this is, it's not my deck, it is one that has been doing the rounds, and it is a mishmash of the discard based decks that we've played as well as the Abhorrent Oculus based deck. So what is it? So obviously it revolves around getting Abhorrent Oculus in the graveyard, say 3 mana at 5/5. As an additional cost to cast a spell, we have to exile 6 cards from our graveyard, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, we manifest dread, meaning we look at the top 2 of our library, one into play as a 2/2 creature and the other into a graveyard, and if it is a creature we can turn it face up for its mana cost. And the idea is once Oculus is in the graveyard we can help in hand it back, which is 1 to get back target creature card with mana value 3 or less from graveyard or battlefield tapped, or recommission it back, which does the same thing but it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it and it's not tapped. And the idea is we have, the deck is built around ways to get it into the graveyard, and those ways are 1 copy of Bitter Reunion. When it enters we discard a card and draw a card. 4 copies of Fear of Missing Out. When it enters we discard a card and draw a card. And if it has Delirium, if we have Delirium, means when it attacks we can cause another creature to untap and we get to attack again with that creature. 2 copies of Glacial Dragon Hunt, a new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm. A 2 mana, draw a card, then we may discard a card. If we discard a non-land card, we draw 3 to target creature, and we can harmonise it for 4 and a blue and a red. And harmonise is a new mechanic. Basically, we may tap 1 creature we control to reduce that cost by X, where X is that creature's power. So just for example, if we have a Oculus on the battlefield and we want to tap it, it will just cost a blue and a red to cast on the graveyard. I don't know why we'd want to tap the Oculus for it though, but we can if we need to. And then rounding out ways to discard it, we have 2 copies of Tersa Lightshatter, another new card. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards, and then it also has haste, it's a 3/3. When it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in our graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard, you may play that card this turn. Obviously, if we have 7 or more cards in our graveyard the turn we play it, it's unlikely we're going to be able to cast something, but you never know. Then we have 2 copies of Steam Core Scholar. When it enters, draw 2, then discard 2, unless we discard an instant or sorcery card or a creature with flying. And funnily enough, our Abhorrent Oculus has flying, so this is quite often draw 2, discard 1, and then 1 copy of Cura the Rising Tide, which does a very similar thing. When it enters, we draw 2, then discard 2. And then if we have Threshold, meaning if we have 7 or more cards in a graveyard, like Tersa, but Tersa isn't keyworded as Threshold for some reason, when it attacks, we create Scion of the Deep, a legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. You could just take out one of these and put in another Scholar or Tersa, but I like the potential upside of getting a massive 8/8 creature. And then rounding out the deck, more of a discard synergy, is Marauding Mako. We have played this on the channel before. 1 mana, 1/1. When we discard 1 or more cards, we put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. And obviously, with these cards we've spoken, they are all discard at least 1 card, and it also has Cycling 2 to let us draw, discard it and draw. Then we have 2 copies of Spell Pierce just for protection, 3 copies of Torture Tower for removal, 2 copies of Sheltered by Ghosts also removal, and then 4 copies of Proft's Eidetic Memory. And when it says when it enters we draw a card, we have no maximum hand size. The beginning of combat on our turn, if we've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature we control, where X is the number of cards we've drawn this turn -1. So if we just draw for turn, we don't get any counters. If we play Profs and get that, draw that card from it, we could put 1 counter on it. But if we then have Profs down and we Tersa and draw 2 cards, we will put 2 counters on a creature, and obviously, it goes up from there. And obviously, putting something on the Mako, or because we're drawing discarding, so we will buff the Mako from discarding, and then with Profs or Oculus is really, really powerful. Mana base, we do have 3 of the new Mystic Monitors, or the reprints from Tarkir, in the Jeskai colours. And then, the rest of it is, we only have 1 basic land, Basic Mountain, but the rest of it is the dual lands, Pain lands, and Fast lands that enter tapped unless we control 2 or a few other lands. So that's the deck. It's an interesting one. Watch until the wrap up for my thoughts on it. But in the meantime, hope you'll enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. Oh, this hand is, I think, too slow, but it has everything we need and want, apart from the 3rd land. But we can get there hopefully with, well, there's the third land. Shadow by Ghost as well is always very, very powerful. Alright, well. We still get the trigger. Well, we can... Well, let us recommission our Oculus. And Sheltered by Ghosts. Oh, this isn't the... I say isn't the good Elsbeth. But it's still a pretty good one. That's your entire turn. Although it does exile, which is kind of annoying. Should we get back a scholar? Yeah, let's get back a scholar. And let's get back another Oculus. Put a couple of counters. I say a couple. 3 on our face down. Fear of missing out. We still can't quite recast that first Oculus. Do you have another Soul Partition? I've got an engine going. We've got enchantment, sorcery. That's it in our graveyard. Well, let's get down a second Profts, and we'll, it doesn't matter, but we'll keep the second Profts. Actually, no, we don't need to. We can go face with our other cards. Take out their talent. We can even keep hold up Spell Pierce. They're going to exile our graveyard. Oh no, they're going to. It's a very odd choice. And it's got one at the top, one at the bottom. Shall we turn this over? Yeah, why not? And yeah, cause the opponent to scoop. Could we just cast it full power? But I suppose we probably just tap one of our 2/2s. Probably tap the land just to reduce the cost down to 4. And then we can hold up Spell Pierce. Well, turn 1 Mako, turn 2 Dragon Hunt. Turn 3 recommission's pretty good. A lot of pain lands, they're not fun. This is Boros tokens. We'll let us Dragon Hunt. Discard Oculus. Kill their Percussionist. Boros Convoke by the look of it then. Yeah, they get down their recruiter and hit us for a chunk. And then we can hold up Torch the Tower. Do they have the Knight Errant? Well, let's Torch the Tower the nesting bot so they don't get the token. Let us Profs and carry on keying ourselves. And then let's Dragon Hunt. And we'll pitch a Tersa. Take down the recruiter. Hit in for 8, hopefully. They go a digging. But we've got a pretty good board for blockers. If we have another recruiter, we should be alright. They don't have haste. So they would need land plus recruiter. But that's not going to do it. No. That's an interesting deck with Arabella. Arabella is a bonkersly powerful card in the right deck. We go first. If we find a way to discard Oculus or a third land for Tersa, I think will be good. 3 missing out would be great. No, just another Tersa. Or you can hit him for 2. You need that third land. Is this the Omniscience combo? No, Valgavoth. Well, let's get down Tersa. Discard the Oculus and a Mako. No, let's discard the second Tersa. Let's diversify our counters. Hit him for 9. Yeah, we do have lethal. If they don't have removal. Zombify is 4 mana. And depending on what they do, we probably just get down the Scholar to further buff our Mako and draw cards for Proft. They've produced a blue. I mean, your choices are get a blocker down, get 2 blockers down, or remove our creatures. Or die. It seems they're choosing for the annoying option of just rope. Oh, there we go. Let's get down the Scholar then. They have, I think they have the interaction. Oculus. Yeah. They're either dead or close to dead. The question is, do they have a land and say Zombify? Yep. Obviously, they're going to get our cards. We'll get a... Helping Hand does bring it back tapped. So they gain 9, so they're still on 2. Yeah, Torch Tower can't go face. And they can't cast any of the spells they got with us because they have to pay life. And they can't attack. Okay, they can attack. Do they have another Valgavoth? Or do they have an Atroxa? It'll be really great now. Shut up by ghosts. I think we've got to go digging for it. We can get back Tersa. So we put this on our Oculus. You get a couple of triggers. If we have another zombie fire, I think we're just screwed. Zombify being 4 mana is... 5 mana is usually the going rate for reanimation, without any downsides or any stipulations like mana value 3 or less, like Helping Hand and Recommission do. And obviously Helping Hand brings it back tapped. They go down to 1, obviously trying to find a Zombify. Thing is, if they attack, I think they've got it. They'll still survive. Means you attack with a Tersa and hope you get you hit Zombify in your graveyard. What was that? Oh, Irene. What are they? Oh, no, that's... We don't even have a graveyard. I mean, they should have attacked. There's no point not attacking. Yeah. Yeah, that is it, unfortunately. That was so frustrating. Our opponent does go first. Well, at least we can fear of missing out away our Oculus. And get it back next turn with the helping hand. Oh, bad deck. We can turn the Mako over if we don't need a spell pierce. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. We don't want to turn it face up now, then. They must have another one, then. Well, let us Tersa. We'll discard the Oculus and a Spell Pierce. So it's getting on the ground. We've loved that Shelter by Ghosts. And we do have Delirium. But not Threshold. Oh, that's what gives it. I was like, how do they have pay one life, add 1 mana of any colour, but from Forgotten Monument? Well, that's fear of missing out. Discard a Steam Core Scholar. And we will Profts. And we'll put it on Tersa. And there we go. Lethal. We don't need blue mana, but I think Mulligan is just a recipe for disaster. At least we can get down a Mako. Would like blue mana for Dragon Hunt. Otherwise we can show up by Ghost, assuming that Mako is still around. Well, they are struggling with what to do. Second Swifty. will let us exile one. And then, well, take the exile the second one as well. Probably always better to do things like that at instant speed, but you don't want them getting out of range of it with prowess. Oh, there is blue mana, but it is obviously a bit late. Like, if they have a 1 mana removal, they can take it out. Yeah, there we go. They're going off. We're getting hit for 5. Oh, there's the open hand. We'll take out the Swifty. Get our Oculus back. Can they do 5 to us? And they plot a show off. I will block. I'm hoping we find blue mana. We don't. But we can get back our second Oculus. And hitting for 5 with our first one. And we manifest Dread twice. Okay. Get an Mako and a mountain. There is the show off. So they have a monstrous rage. We are, I would say, functionally dead. We need an untapped blue source. That is not an untapped blue source. We've been really, really unlucky with our lands. Yeah, we are just very dead. Hello Magic fans and welcome back to a very quick wrap up. So my thoughts on this deck is that because it mashes two archetypes together, both of which we played on this channel, a discard themed archetype and then the whole Abhorrent Oculus themed archetype, it dilutes both of them. It doesn't do either of them as well as the original. So there is a part of me that I don't know what the point of this deck is. If you want to do the whole get Oculus into the graveyard, get it back with recommission and helping hand, there is a better way to do it. There, we played a deck on that with that in mind. And if you want to play a discard type deck and get value from discard around Mordred Mako and other cards from Ether Drift, especially like Monument to Endurance, and then you can play that as well. So yeah, I just don't know where it fits in and why you would play it. And I said this is a deck that is doing the rounds at the moment. It's quite popular, but I think there are better versions or better ways you can play parts of this deck, and that's what confuses me about it. But when it works, it's enjoyable, but it's frustrating because you're trying to do two things and neither of them fantastically well, and you can do both those things a lot better other way. So, but that's just my views. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But in the meantime, I hope you'll all enjoy it. And if you did, please don't like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video.